Okay, hi, welcome to my second Shinkenger review of this evening. So this is going to be on Ika and Ebi origami together, also known as the Octozord and the Clawzord from Power Rangers Samurai / Super Samurai. And just a quick look at the boxes. Here's Daikai-oh's, which is Ebi origami. Just all the features, what it does, commands of Shinkenger, blah blah blah, Hiden disc, etc. And Ika is the same as the other auxiliaries, because he came first in the series. Features with Shinkenger, Tenku Buster, Hidden Disc, interacts with the Sushi Changer, Shinkenmaru. So, we'll cover Ika origami first. So, he's a squid, and doesn't do too much. I mean, the main feature for him is that he spins his lower tentacles and that's it. These ones can move up and down a little bit, but those are mainly more for transformation. The nose goes up and down, at least I think it's the nose. And they would squirt ink in the series. And then the Super Clown symbol here. You press on it and this piece goes up, it's spring loaded. Like all the other mechs, it does come with a disc. This is the only other one which folds up, the first one being the sushi disc for the Sushi Changer, which I may review at some point. The pattern is that without the lines breaking it, the shrimp actually spins around. And it does help the fact that it folds up like this, because that's the way that octopi would do that sort of thing in the series. So then we go on to Ebi origami. It's going to be a bit of a weird way of doing this review, but whatever. So it's a gigantic lobster, quite long for an origami. Got full movement in the claws. They can move up and down. These feet pieces can move up and down, they're rubber, so yeah, just be aware of that. And the pincers also open and close. These do actually rotate every 90 degrees. Not even that, it's every 180 degrees. So the gimmick for this is that you can take a hidden disc, we'll just use Ika's for this case, place it in, dust it, and then in the series, you can smack people with it. So, take it as you will, it's a gimmick that's there. It doesn't always balance that well because of the bottom part, which is used for the Daikai Shinkenger and Samurai Heart combinations, but yeah. He does come with electronics, so it's an on-off switch on this side, I do believe. Unless I'm mistaken, no, there it is. It takes two LR44 button batteries, unfortunately, compared to some like two AAAs. So, same voice for the Sushi Changer, and then it's a button here. There's 4 sound effects. They're generally randomized, but I hope I can get them all right. So it's just 2 sword clashing sounds, or 2 claw slashing sounds, I should say, and then the lobster sound done in 2 different pitches. And as you can see, they just do it in a random way. And that's it. There's quite a few changes, so I'll have to kind of do this as I go along. So I'll just go straight into it before we get to the combinations. For Ika, obviously scaled down. This was spring loaded in this version, but in the English one it was manual, and you had to pull it out yourself. Hidden disc was still in place, but molded in, and they added a wheel here because you could actually rest it on the ground, have all of these tentacles folded up, and then you could roll it along, and then this would actually spin in that feature. You can still do it, but you know, it's just done with the wheel thing. These bits for the transformation, we actually press this down to separate the pieces from each other, was taken out, so you just simply had to do it manually, which is a bit of a weakness considering the fact that this adds a bit more reinforcement to it. They added the 2 pegs on the front so that the Gold Ranger could stand on top and it could, you know, ride it. The white was made lighter compared to this one, which is a bit more of a greyish white, sort of an eggshell colour, I think. These suction cups still remain the same. They actually had suction cups on the bottom, which was kind of an interesting feature. Transformations were pretty much the same. The nose could still move, except there was only 1 peg here compared to 2. And yeah, I think that's pretty much that. Not many changes. I think the colour scheme was kept pretty much the same. They kept this whole thing, which is used for the Tenku Buster. And then for Ebi, quite a few changes, but you'll notice them more in the Megazord mode. Red paint removed here, these were changed to blue claws. The eyes were kind of more flattened in the English one. These are actually hard plastic, but in the English one they're more of a rubber. All the electronics were taken out, and there's actually a light here as well. If I just turn it on, it's on, so... That was taken out. All the clear red was replaced to just standard orange. The chrome that's on the side here was removed. They remolded it so that it was more with the whole stuff with the Zor Builder port line. They removed the hidden disc, which is actually under here, and then we just molded it in. So this side you have the lobster claws opening and closing, and then the other side you have all the faces for the Daikai-oh combination, and you can see the little arrow, and then that lines up inside with another arrow, and it all just locks in perfectly there, and then there you go. So it's in the right place. It just closes up, and since they removed that, this flat piece couldn't just end up with 2 pegs on it, so again the Gold Ranger could sit on top. The boxes over here were changed to Zor Builder pegs. These hands were not square on both sides. One side was square, if you can kind of see that, and the other side was a circle, so that they changed the way in which the swords were held. There was a few other changes as well, which I can't exactly remember from the top of my head. Obviously, these claws can come off, and these pegs were remolded like everything else. And also the same thing like with the Samurai Megazord, where it's just a little bit crooked, where it'd be a little bit up or a little bit down, rather than just being perfectly straight. And as far as I can remember, those are all the details that were changed. I can't say much else about that, but if there is anything else, I'll probably just stick it in the annotations. So, now on to the combinations. There's quite a few, so try and get into it. So for Shinkenger, again, has the yellow, it meant to have the yellow piece with the origami, but for mine, I didn't get one because it was used. So, get into the transformation. And here we have Shinkenger, just with the shield that blows out this kind of freezing mist thing, and the spear which would jab the opponent like 1,000 times in order to destroy it, and this would conduct electricity in order to power up the spear. So the transformation differences was pretty much a stupid one, in that to attach the Octa Spear, the pink fist had to be rotated all the way around, which I didn't understand why they couldn't just leave it as should be in the series, just straight up like that. That was a stupid thing. The shield also couldn't be held up straight like this. It was more held in like a sword would be, and it would just be constantly facing at an angle. This would still connect the same way, and there was no yellow piece like there was before. And other than that, that's pretty much that. Like I said, the transformation is the same, and I'll say out of all of the auxiliary mech, it was the closest to the Japanese version. So, yeah, we'll just leave it at that, because we'll do the Ikatenku Buster later, but we need to move on to Daikai-oh now for the transformation. And I realise now that I put those on the wrong way around, so the screw holes don't show. And then when you take this off at the top, it does a transformation noise to Daikai-oh. So, this is Shigashi, which is the East form. So it has a sound effect. So we press the button. Just that one sound, and then when you hold it down, that same finishing move, which will be done with all of them. So for his finisher, the claws come down, and then he would just simply, you know, smash people to death with these oversized lobster claws. So then, next form, because there's not much else to say about him, he's got a red face with the East logo up the top. So next is Minami, which is south, and his main feature was that he would wield the swords. So you attach them into the hands thusly. They still kept all of the features of the East, West, North, and South features on the claw Zord in Samurai. And you can still spin this, but it's just the fact that there was no electronics or anything. So, press the button. Just a double sword clashing sound. Same finisher noise. So now, move on to the next one. So that's Nishi, which is west. So the swords will be stored in the back, but we're going to need them later on. And then his feature would be the fact that he would use this piece as a fan. Place it in the hand thusly. And he has a huge fan weapon which he uses to blow away the enemies. So there's a single and double. So that's it with those ones, and then the final one is Kita, which is the North combination, which actually combines up with Ika origami. So I'll just transform these first, and then we'll get into the combination with Ika. So, taking him away from Shinkenger, if I don't completely unbalance him. So here is the Kita mode, the North mode, also known as Ika Daikai-oh. There's the face, because you can't really see the other ones. So he basically just has his gigantic spear weapon. See my face. And yeah, so it looks kind of impressive. This spins, because there's not really much of a thing with a joint. So you press a button. Pretty much the same sound effect over and over again, and then the same finishing noise.